If I told you there was a secret path to learning anything twice as fast, would you take it? Imagine if you could master new skills like playing an instrument or speaking a new language twice as fast. What if you were able to crush it in your next job interview or nail that big presentation at work? It turns out that this secret path already exists, and it involves embracing failure. That's right. We're going to talk about the power of failing your way to success today. You won't want to miss this. There's a famous quote that says, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal." It is the courage to continue that counts. This quote is so true because it's easy to give up when things get tough. But it's what sets the successful people apart from the rest. So here's the deal. You want to learn something new, whether it's picking up a new skill or mastering a complex concept. The key is to fail forward. Now, I know it sounds counterintuitive, but hear me out. When you fail, you learn. And when you learn, you adapt and improve. This means that every time you fail, you're one step closer to success. For example, let's say you want to learn how to play the guitar. When you first start out, you're not going to be very good. In fact, you might not even know how to hold the guitar. But as you practice and learn from your mistakes, you will gradually get better and better. Eventually, you may even become a guitar hero. The point is that every time you practice and fail, you're getting closer to your goal. And it's the same with anything else you want to learn. Whether it's cooking, coding, or public speaking, the more you practice and fail, the better you'll become. So how do you fail forward? Well, it starts with a positive mindset. You have to be willing to embrace failure and see it as a learning opportunity. Once you have the right mindset, you need to experiment and take risks. Don't be afraid to try new things and push yourself outside of your comfort zone. When you do fail, analyze why you failed and what you can do differently next time. Use your failures as motivation to improve and don't give up. Keep practicing and failing forward until you achieve success. You ever heard the saying, "It takes 10,000 hours to become an expert at something"? Well, it turns out that this saying might not be as accurate as we once thought. A recent study by a group of psychologists found that it actually only takes about 3,000 hours of practice to become an expert at something. However, the results of this study did reveal something interesting. The experts who had put in the extra hours to reach the top 1% of their field had done so by following a specific path, one that involved a lot of hard work and dedication. They had spent thousands of hours practicing and refining their skills, but they had also experienced a lot of failure along the way. In fact, the psychologists found that the experts had failed more than 7,500 times before they reached the level of mastery. These individuals had failed more than 7,500 times before they became masters. But rather than seeing these failures as setbacks, they used them as opportunities to learn and grow. Each failure brought them one step closer to their goals and helped them become the experts they are today. So what does this mean for you? Well, if you want to become an expert at something, you need to be willing to put in the work and face the failures head on. Don't let the number of potential failures scare you away from pursuing your goals. Instead, use them as motivation to keep moving forward. Remember, it's not the number of times you fall down that matters, but how quickly you pick yourself back up again. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Becoming an expert is not easy. It takes a lot of time, effort, and dedication. But if you're willing to put in the work, then the sky is the limit. So don't be afraid to dream big and set ambitious goals for yourself. Just remember that the road to success is often long and winding, and it is paved with both successes and failures. Embrace the failures and learn from them. With enough practice and determination, you can become an expert at anything. In the book, The Talent Code, author Daniel Kuhl shares an intriguing observation he made while researching high-performance teams and individuals. He noticed that those who achieve exceptional results don't possess any special talent. They simply have access to a better learning path, which enables them to learn significantly faster than others. Boyle research reveals that deliberate practice isn't the only factor contributing to rapid learning. Instead, it's the interaction between practice and talent that leads to mastery. This means that two individuals practicing the same skill at the same intensity won't necessarily achieve the same results. One may learn faster due to a more favorable learning path. What exactly is a learning path? In simple terms, a learning path refers to the method or approach you take to learn a new skill or concept. Some paths are more efficient and lead to faster learning, while others may be less effective. For example, if you want to learn how to ride a bike, one learning path might involve starting with a balance bike to get a feel for balancing before moving onto a regular bike with training wheels. Another path might involve jumping straight onto a regular bike and learning to ride with both hands on the handlebars from the start. Both paths will ultimately lead to the same outcome, but one may be more efficient and help you learn faster. So how can you discover the best learning path for what you want to learn? It starts with understanding the skill or concept you want to learn. Break it down into smaller components and identify the specific building blocks needed to master it. Once you have a clear understanding of the fundamentals, you can start experimenting with different learning paths. Try different approaches and see what works best for you. You can also seek guidance from others who have already mastered the skill or concept you are trying to learn. Ask them about the path they took and see if they can offer any suggestions or tips. Remember that the best learning path for one person may not be the best for another. Everyone learns differently and has unique strengths and weaknesses. So be patient and persistent in your efforts to discover the best learning path for you. It may take some time and experimentation, but the results will be worth it. As you reflect on your own life experiences, think about times when you learned something new. Did you learn the material by reading a textbook or by doing hands-on exercises? Did you learn a new language by watching videos or by practicing conversations with native speakers? By examining your past learning experiences, you can start to identify patterns and trends that indicate the type of learning path that works best for you. You might find, for example, that you learn best through hands-on experiences, or that you retain information more easily when you can connect it to real-world applications. Understanding your own learning style and preferences can help you develop a more effective learning plan and make the most of your study time. The bottom line is that everyone learns differently, and there is no one-size-fits-all approach to learning. By taking the time to reflect on your past learning experiences and understand your own learning style, you can set yourself up for success in any learning endeavor. Becoming a skilled learner is just the beginning. To truly excel, you must apply what you learn. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of acquiring new knowledge and skills, but without practical application, all that learning will be wasted. Make sure to put your learning into practice as soon as possible. This will help you solidify what you've learned and make it easier to recall when you need it. Learning isn't a destination, it's a journey. As the famous proverb goes, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, so don't wait. Start your journey today and see where it takes you. And if you're looking for more tips and strategies to help you learn faster and more effectively, consider subscribing to the channel. We cover a wide range of topics related to personal growth and self-improvement, and we are constantly adding new content. Thanks for watching and good luck on your learning journey.